So stoked you are here. Grab yourself a cup of tea. Lean in. I want you to get into state. Put some oils on. Think of yourself with your goal achieved, because when you do that, when you know where you're headed, right? And at no point am I interested in you guys not knowing where you're headed. I want you to know where you're headed. And when you listen to what I have to say on this magical topic, you will hear exactly what you need to get you from where you are to where you want to go. Okay. It's not enough just to like sit here and listen to me. Okay. It's not enough. You have to know where you're, so that you can draw out of every single interaction that you have to get where you want to go. Okay. And that is the truth. That is the fact. So today we are going to chat about confidence. Confidence. When I say that, what comes up for you? Would you describe yourself as a really confident person? Think of it. Because having confidence in yourself, in your mission, is critical. And why would you want to gain confidence? Self-confidence is the first requirement of any undertaking that you're ever going to do. Kind of like the little engine that could, right? As it teaches kids. When you believe in your capabilities and put in the work, you can do more than you think. And I say this all the time. Scientists, even the smartest scientist, has no idea what you are capable of. It is crazy the amount of energy you have running to and through you. Every single experience, every single interaction, every single relationship you've had, everything that's happened to you has happened for you. For a reason. And you might say, oh, well, it's that relationship or that job or that blah, 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 that crushed my confidence. I had confidence until then, till that person came into my life, until that job came into my life, till I got crushed doing this. But you know what? Just like with anything, it might not be your fault that that happened, but it is your responsibility to heal it, to take your power back. It is your responsibility, because guess what? No one owns your life except for you. You have to believe that you can do this. If you believe that you're not able or competent or not very smart or not very talented, your results are going to reflect those beliefs. So to be successful, to get what you want, you have to have the confidence to do it. Fortunately, if you believe or feel you're not good enough for something, you can change that. You can develop the confidence on an emotional level to accomplish anything that you desire. And then once you do it once, you just kind of do it again and again and again and again and again. And it's this like cycle of awesomeness that keeps coming up. And you've had success in the past. You have. Think of something that you've had success with. Maybe it was a relationship. Maybe you've had kids. Maybe you have, had a job or grown a business. Maybe you've been in a competition. Maybe you ran that marathon. Maybe you lost 100 pounds. I don't know. Whatever that was for you, you've had success in the past. But at some point, the confidence was gone. You need to borrow belief from that experience until your confidence gets back up there. But you have to develop confidence. It's not enough, again, for you to like sit here and listen to me say, oh, Dylan says I need confidence, right? If I were to picture me as this sick person, okay, and I have a line through my head, and I have my conscious mind up top and my subconscious mind down below. Okay? On a conscious level, you're like, yeah, confidence. Totally need that. But then on a subconscious level, if you don't believe it, that's the magic, because that is what puts your body into motion. Few people are as confident as they would like to be. Yet self-confidence is so important because it shows up in every single thing that we do. And like I said, the good news is the way you think of yourself is like only a premise. It's an idea in your mind that you've built your entire personality on. And just like any idea or habit or belief, you can change that idea anytime you want, anytime. Thinking does make it so. Thoughts are things. Remember, the subconscious mind makes no distinction between what's real and what's imagined. It doesn't know the difference. It works from the material that we feed it through our thoughts. And then it takes it and it translates it as thought into our reality. Whether it's driven by fear or by courage, it puts us into action. In other words, you are what you think you are. And I've even heard it say, I'm not who I think I am. I'm not who you think I am. I'm who I think that you think that I am. So, it's a lot of thinking. Reminds me of that Friends episode. Aha, the messer becomes the messy. So, think for a second. Think about the people that you associate yourself with most. How would they describe you? Would they describe you as a confident person? How would they describe you? When you think you're important, others think that you're important too. Because how you think determines how you act. And how you act determines how others react and respond to you. And while you're doing that, really start to get emotionally involved. Not with who necessarily you currently are, but who you want to become. Remember, the mind doesn't know the difference. One of the first questions you have to ask yourself is, how do I want to be seen? How do I want to be seen? How do others view me? When you speak, how do they hear you? Do they want to hear you? Be honest with yourself. I'm not saying you have to be everything for everybody. I've really come to terms with the fact that I'm not everything for everybody, and that's okay. Like it or not, though, the way you see yourself, it talks. So be sure that it says positive things about you. And this is why even though I work from home, I've usually got a kid hanging off me at some point, I still make sure that like every day I get up, after I've moved my body, I've exercised, I'm still like showering, I'm not hanging up my PJs all day. I'm like probably gonna put some makeup on, brush my hair, because I feel different when I do these things. I feel better. Doesn't mean that that's who I am, because that's the difference too. Lots of people can wear the clothes and like put on all the makeup, and that's how they define themselves. That's not who you are. You're not your body. We've talked about this before. You're not your body. But your appearance does talk. It puts you into a different vibration. This is why I say, you with your goal achieved, how are you dressing? Where are you hanging out at? Be sure that it says positive things about you. Never leave the house or even go live or do anything. Even if I know I'm not leaving the house or going live, I'm still dressing in a way that speaks to who I am with my goal achieved. And if you want to convey confidence, you can't display this broken body. Unfortunately, in our society, it's common to see people with bodies that turn inward and downward. Right? I was sitting here, just kind of talking to you guys like this. But you could see, just even if I sit up, even I'm going to take a step back, I'm going to stand up, right? And I can move my body while I'm speaking. And I have a whole new level of confidence. I just raised my vibration when I did that. Dun, dun, dun. I can get my dance on. Dancing at work. That's what I do. But I want you to really get clear on this. Do you see yourself? What happens when you're slouching? Do you see anybody? Think of the best sculptures or works of art. Do you see people just kind of unless they're trying to depict depression, you see the statues, right? They're standing tall. Your spine should reach up. This is how energy is flowing to and through you. Is everybody kind of sitting up as I'm saying this? You must always be conscious of that you are aspiring upward and outward, that you are expressing. That's true even if you're sitting down. If you let your entire body sink down when you sit, you're not only showing me your lack of confidence, but remember, our outside is just a direct reflection of inside. And the same can be true about your voice. To be confident, you can't have a voice that mumbles. If I was going to talk to you, speak. Speak up. Speak clearly. When you start looking and acting like the person that you want to become, your new attitude will not talk like you do now. It's not going to talk like that person or try to be that person. As you begin to act differently, act as you with your goal achieved, you will quickly earn not only more respect and attention from everybody around you, but from yourself. You're going to be proud to live in the vessel that you live in. You're going to exude more confidence. And even your experience builds more confidence. Eleanor Roosevelt, she said, you gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You must do the thing you think you cannot do. How's that for advice? A lack of confidence can be knocked on its ass every single time by taking action. And again, think about times in your life when you did something that was in an area you'd never done before. You weren't confident you could do it at first, but the more you did it, the more confident you became. So you're thinking and acting like the person that you want to become. Remember that you can't build confidence solely by sitting around and thinking good thoughts, putting your oils on and thinking positive thoughts. It's not really how it works. You also have to take action. And the more you don't take action, the more you will stop trusting yourself that you will ever get anything done. You will literally start saying to yourself, as you make your to-do list, like, why the hell am I even making this? Because I know I'm not going to do it. You don't even have confidence in yourself. You, with your goal achieved, do they do what they say they're going to do? I hope so. And the more you are consistent with that, the more you take action and do what you say you're going to do, the more confidence you will have. And as soon as you do, the fear that's inside of you will begin to go away and your confidence will rise. And again, not only will you be trusting yourself, but the other people around you that have probably stopped trusting that you say you're going to do what you say you're going to do anyways, right? They'll start to come around again too. Or they won't. And if they don't, then that's okay. They weren't meant to. So you're saying to me, okay, but how do I actually build confidence? And I want to dive into this because there's some really science-driven and probably, when you think about it, experience-driven examples of things that you can do, actions that you can take to increase your self-confidence and step more boldly into your life, into the life that you want, into you with your goal achieved. And take them for what you want with them. Everybody's going to take them differently. But if you look at them squarely and fit, like really, like as I list them, I want you on like a scale of 1 to 10 to say, you know what, 1 being, I kind of suck at this. And 10, like knowing you're a rock star. Like check, nailed that one, got it, next, right? But I suggest that even you choose a couple of them that really are resonating with you and practice them for even just a week. 28 days to build a habit, but I'll take a week. And whatever you pick will make you feel better about yourself. Sometimes like immediately. So then when you notice the confidence building in that area, take on another one. And another one, and another one, till you are at the highest level of where you want to be. Okay? Tip number 1 is to clean up your self-image. And we've talked about this. We talked about it with psychocybernetics. We all have a mental picture of ourselves. And remember, we all have 2 images, the one that we hold on the inside and the one that we portray on the outside. And that image determines the results that we get in every area of our life because it's in our subconscious, right? And our body does exactly what our subconscious mind says to do. Okay, so if you don't like your results, you have to change your self-image. Non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. If you're sick of yo-yo dieting, if you're sick of making money and then having no money, if you're sick of being in a relationship and then not being in a relationship, all of it, every single thing in your life is a reflection of you, your self-image. So clean it up. Ways to do this, I recommend visioneering. I recommend affirmations. I recommend journaling, creating a life script, thinking into results is kind of a key one. We do, in fact, in our 6-month coaching program, we do a complete self-image makeover. That's why you come out of it after 6 months like a completely different person. But the key is to practice seeing, thinking, and feeling yourself the way you want to become. But again, first you got to get really clear on where you want to become. And then the image will begin to take root. Second, how are you dressing? Like dressing. And you're looking at me and I'm, you know, if you see me, I'm in like a tank top and some Lulus, right? But it's amazing how much more confident you feel when you even just shower and put on some clothes that don't have grass stains all down the front. Or a huge rip in the side or whatever, right? You feel successful and presentable and ready to greet and take on the world. It will turn your mood upside down and you'll carry yourself with more confidence. You'll talk to people more positively. It will be so easy to leave people with the feeling of increase every single time. Number 3, really get to know yourself. Even though we might think we know ourselves, there's a lot of actual studies that show that we really don't know ourselves. Studies actually are saying that most of us are deluded about ourselves and our capabilities. Much of that we can contribute of that is to our beliefs. We have beliefs about ourselves that don't serve us. That would be your paradigm. Served you at one point, that's how they got ingrained into your subconscious mind. But your beliefs are based on your evaluation of any situation that kind of comes up. That's why you and your siblings could have the exact same situation, but because of perception, you've looked at them completely different, which has then built different paradigms, different self-image, all of the things. But the next time you feel insecure or like you're incapable of accomplishing something, really, I encourage you to look at the situation from a new perspective and recognize that it is not serving you to look at it the way you are currently looking at it. And do this a few times and see how many of your limitations are actually not limitations at all, but they're just symptoms of negative beliefs. Think about the good things about yourself, the things that you do well. And there's good in everything. 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 You have to think about the good. The things you like, the things you've accomplished, the success you've had. Dig deep and get to know yourself on this level. Number 4, pay attention to what you are saying. And this is a big one. And this can even be like while you're at work or in a situation where you want to convey confidence, maybe persuade others. When you want to get a point across on a big idea, be mindful of your verbiage, your tone. So what you don't want to sound like is, basically, you know, or I hate to bother you, but, or I just have to say, or is it okay if am I making sense? I know I sound silly, but, right? Avoid filler words. Keep your sentences short, sweet. Don't apologize or say, when you say this completely diminishes whatever follows it. Like you don't even believe what you're about to say. So I just have this idea. It's not just, what's your idea? I'm sure it's brilliant. If you believe it's brilliant. And really have confidence with what you are saying. Believe what you're saying. And if you don't believe it, don't let it come out of your mouth. right? Don't diminish your inspired ideas. Instead, fall in love with them, no matter how silly they might sound. And it'll be hard for others to shy away from them and say no when you're so freaking pumped about them. Right? Next, number 5, increase your competence. You need to study and practice your craft to become better at it. Period. Even if your paradigm is like, oh, I was really good at just reading a textbook once and I got straight A's in school. That's great. Congratulations on being able to regurgitate information. That doesn't mean you actually know it. And now what you're probably finding is that you are now in the workplace and it might not be coming so easily to you because they're actually asking you to apply it, not just read about it and regurgitate it. Unless you're in a regurgitation kind of job. Sounds really exciting. Bet you're really stoked about it. But when you take time to practice your craft, right? And even just think, start with something small that you know you can do. So for example, if you want to write a book, okay, and you want to become a more competent writer, start by writing more. Just start writing more. Set aside 15 to 30 minutes a day to read articles and books on writing. Your competence and confidence will grow day by day by implementing any of these practices. Number 6, make sure your goals and values are in harmony. Do you know what your values are? Do you know what you value? Do you know what your purpose is? Do you know what your vision is? Do you have goals? When you take the time to think through your fundamental values and then commit yourself to living your life consistent and in alignment with them, you will feel this surge of strength and determination that you didn't even know existed. You will feel more centered with the universe and be able to accomplish anything that you put your mind to. But you have to know where you are and where you're going to be going. Number 7 is commit to changing a habit. Changing habits can be really easy. This is what I coach people on all the time. It can be really easy, but we have an abundance of them. But start with even something small. Start with something even like waking up 15 minutes earlier and meditating for 10 minutes a day. What would that look like? If you're in sales, reach out to 3 more prospects every single day. What would that look like? If you are looking to, I don't know, I'm like drawing at straws here. I'm actually drawing a blank. If you are looking to release weight, what would it look like to do 5 more minutes of walking every day? And speaking of that, I'm going to move on to number 8, and that is get physical. Exercise is one of the most empowering things that you can do for your self-esteem. No comparison, no saying, I want to look the way I did when I was 20. Sure, if that's your goal. But I encourage you to focus on being a healthy weight and size for your age and gender. Okay? But just focus on being fit. And when you do, it will make you feel and look better. Physically, mentally, emotionally. And it doesn't take much. And you will see the benefits, even just walking. What if you said every night after supper, I'm going to go for a walk? Or I'm going to walk this many miles a day, or I'm whatever. What would that look like? You don't have to be a marathon runner. You can if you want to. But what would that look like? Number 9, learn about your potential. Do you know you actually have infinite potential? Do you know that? Have I ever told you that before? And you can do this. You can look at your potential in so many different ways. But one of the best ways that I can recommend that you will get it done is through studying. Studying yourself, studying books, attending seminars, gaining a coach to hold you accountable through it. And you can learn about your potential even just by watching and listening and studying other successful people around you. And you will automatically become more confident as you discover who you really are, your inner genius. Remember, we are all God, source, universe, highest creation. Like it is in us, a diamond. It's just covered in layers of crap. So next, last but not least, I want you to just do something. If you can change what you do, you change what you are. Taking action to accomplish something is almost always better than not doing anything. Of course, doing something can lead to mistakes or failures. But you know what? These are just things that are a part of life, and they're a necessary part of life. It's how we learn. It's how we grow. Without mistakes, we would never get better. And that would just suck, because that's not what we're meant to do as humans. We're meant to grow. We're meant to evolve. And my other suggestion would be go to your Think and Grow Rich book. I want you to turn to the chapter on faith. And in it is the self-confidence formula. Depending on what version you have, I can't give you a page, but it's in the faith chapter. Okay, and I'm going to read this out to you. And I want you to read it every single day for the next 30 days. Guaranteed, if not forever. Okay? Number 1, I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment, and I here and now promise to take such action. Number 2, I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. Number 3, I know through the principle of autosuggestion that any desire I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes a day to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. Number 4, I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life. I will never stop trying until I have developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. And number 5, I fully realize that no wealth or possession can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction that does not benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all humanity, because I know that a negative attitude towards others could never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and myself. I will sign my name to this formula, commit it to memory, and repeat it aloud once a day with full faith that I will gradually influence my thoughts and actions so that I will become a self-reliant and successful person. Guys, this is the magic. If you want to be confident, find out who you are by always believing the best about yourself. You do that by refusing to think or talk about the way you don't want to be. You have to know who you are and where you're going. And you must see yourself in that way. Now, not in the future, but now, today. And when you do that, you will naturally draw in the things that will guide you towards that. You want to talk, walk, think, act like the person you are becoming. Believe the best about yourself. And it's not like willy-nilly kind of thinking. Theology and science indicate to us that you are God's highest creation. Creator, source, universe, whatever. You are. That's something you can believe in. You know this. You know it to be true. So start acting like it. Have confidence in that. Believe in that. Have faith in that. And when you can flip that image of yourself, that's when shit gets real. That's when the goods start popping up. So cool, right? And it can be that simple, that easy. So who's ready? Who's ready to increase their confidence? So good. Thank you, you guys, for joining me